aka Sweegdeddy, for Combat Sports NG. First of all, Happy New Year. Last time I met you guys, it was last year, so Happy New Year, guys. And also, the last time we did this, I went 10-4. 10-4. I lost Woodley. I lost, who did I lose the last time? Can't remember now. But I lost, yeah. Angie Overkill was robbed. I can't remember the last two people that I lost, but I was pretty very close. I was 10-4. So if you bet on my picks last week, last time there was a fight, I think you did pretty good, man. So trust in me again this week. And like I always say, if you win with my picks, you give me 20%. If you don't win, that's the risk you take. Betting is not easy. No risk, no reward. Let's get into it right quick. So this is UFC Vegas 46, the first fight of the card. TJ Brown and Charles Rosa. There's a very funny stat for Charles Rosa that is interesting. His last 12 fights, he's 6-6. Literally, wins the fight, loses the fight, wins the fight, loses the fight. Literally, the last 12 fights, he has one lost. So off the top, TJ Brown is a good opponent, but listen, Charles Rosa lost his last fight. He's going to win this one, so I'm going with Charles Rosa automatically. And he's the underdog in this fight, so this is a good value pick. It's a good value pick. So go with my guy Charles Rosa, Boston Strong. Let's get to it. Match 9, Boom Kelleher, my guy, and Kevin Kroom. Kevin Kroom is a good fighter. But I tell you what, I got to go with my guy Boom. One of my favorite fighters in the UFC. Listen, I'm going with Boom, bro. Let's go get it, Boom. Boom time. Business is booming. Now, number 8, we got Cobb McGee and Ramiz Brahimaj. Cobb McGee has lost, I believe, 3 of his last 4 fights. But he won his last fight, so he seems like he's kind of got his foot back, got his footing back, and he's on the way back up. But listen, man, I gotta go with my guy, right? He's Brahimaj. Brahimaj is a nasty young guy. He's American, but he has, I think, Middle Eastern roots. Nasty guy, man. Nasty guy, very aggressive. I gotta go with the young gun, taking out the old guy. This fight, Joseph Holmes, Jimmy Pickett. Jimmy Pickett is not very good. I'm not gonna lie. He's a decent fighter, but he hasn't found his foot in the UFC yet. Joseph Holmes is making his debut right now. Good guy on the ground. I gotta go with the guy making his debut. I won't say much of the guy, but like his record is very crazy. A lot of submissions. I'm gonna go with him. Balogun is fighting Jonathan Brito next. Joanderson Brito. I don't know this guy very much. I think he's making his UFC debut. But Balogun I know pretty well. I won't say I know him very well, but I know him to a good amount. I know him a good amount. Right? He is 1-2 in the UFC, so he hasn't done very well so far. But he's had good fights. But this guy Brito, let me see his record: 5-1 for subs, 5-1 for TKOs. Only lost 2 fights. And he won a good contender series decision. I remember that fight actually. But the thing about these guys is that these Brazilian guys, you're never sure what their level of competition is, out of the UFC. So this is a tricky one to go. But I'm going to go with the guy making his debut again. I'm going to go with Brito from Brazil. Now we got Dakota Bush versus Vashilav Borshev. Borshev was in the contender series. I remember him very well. I'm going to go with him just because he was on the contender series fight. He was very, very good. He was very aggressive. Did he get a TKO? Let me go refresh my memory. I believe he got a he got a TKO very early. I remember that. So I'm gonna go with him. Russian guys who can strike, you gotta go with them all the time. So we got that ready. The match 4 we got Chookagian and Jennifer Maia. This fight is a very interesting fight. I feel like in the women's flyweight division, there's Shevchenko, obviously Valentina, the champion. She's miles above everybody else, right? And then we got guys like in tier 2. Number 1 in tier 2, you gotta get what's her name? The Brazilian, Jessica Andrade. She's very good. She's beat everybody else. She's number 1 contender for sure. And then you gotta go Kailin Chookagian and Jennifer Maia. They're very, very good. They beat everybody else in the division too. Kailin has beat everybody else apart from Andrade, and Maia has beat everybody else as well. And recently, so this is a fight where I feel like whoever wins this fight is gonna be probably the number 1B contender. Because I feel like Andrade is number 1A. I feel like the winner of this fight is number 1B contender. But again, they've all lost to the champion in the last year and a half or 2 years. So I don't think they're going to get a title shot off of this fight. But I think that whoever gets this fight, whoever wins this fight needs one more fight. Especially if Caitlyn wins. Caitlyn has won 2, I think. Okay, no, she won 1 after she lost the fight. She beat Antonina Shevchenko, and then she lost to Andrade, and then she beat I think Araujo. I can't remember who she beat, but yeah. So she's probably 1 or 2 fights away from another contention for the title. Jennifer Maia as well. I think she won her last fight as well. If she wins this one, she maybe needs 1 more, and she's gonna be back back for a title shot again. But I'm gonna go with. This is gonna be a tough card for me because I feel like I'm picking the wrong people, but I gotta go with them. I gotta go with Jennifer Maia as well. Chikadze, you know what? I'm gonna go with Kelly Chikadze because if she can stay on the feet, which she can do pretty well, she knows how to point fight, keep her distance, keep her range, touch, never thrown anything too hard. Very good boxer. I'm gonna go with Kelly Chikadze. Now this fight, match 3, Brandon Royval versus Rogerio Pontorin. This is a good fighter. This is a good fight in the division, and I think they're fighting for potentially a number 1 contender spot. Obviously, Pontorin has just lost to he won his last fight, but before that he lost to Kattar France. So Kattar France is probably ahead of him, and for the title fight, he's just coming off a big win off of beating who did he beat? He beat Kattar France beat Cody Garbrandt last fight. So he's riding a very hot wave, and I think he's fighting Askarov next. So if he wins that fight, he's number 1 contender. But Pontorin and Royval probably going to be number 2, number 3 contender if they win this fight. Pontorin won his last fight. I think he beat, I can't remember who he beat, but he won the last fight. A big fight for him. Royval lost to the champion Moreno after going, I think, 2-0 in the UFC. He beat Kattar France, and he beat, I believe, Tim Means or somebody like that. I can't remember. I'm going to go with Brandon Royval because he's a good striker. Pontorin is a good striker as well. Pontorin is very crazy on the floor, but so is Brandon Royval, and I think he has a better gas tank. I think the difference in this fight is going to be the gas. So I'm going to go with Royval, my guy. I don't know why this is co-main event. This should have been way down in the card. Jay Collier and Chase Sherman. How did they get this co-main event? In any case, I think Chase Sherman is going to win this fight. This is not a great heavyweight fight. There's no ranking on the line here. I'm going to go with Chase Sherman. I think he's a better fighter, and in that division is a bit lighter on his feet. I'm going to go with him. This fight, match 1, main event. Calvin Kattar, Giga Chikadze. I like Giga Chikadze. He's 7-0 in the UFC, but I feel like right now people are a bit overrating him and people are overlooking Calvin Kattar because remember what happened earlier last year. Calvin Kattar lost his fight to Max Holloway very badly. He got struck by I think he absorbed like 450 strikes or 500 strikes in the fight. So he lost very badly in the fight. He did well not to get finished, but he got beat for 5 rounds, right? Now Giga, on the other hand, I think he went 2-0, 3-0 last year. He knocked out a lot of people very early, round 1, round 2. Knocked out, just coming off a win to knocked out Barboza. But people forget that his first 2 fights in the UFC, he struggled to win. In fact, you can argue that he lost both those fights, or at least one of those fights. But he found his way around. He won those fights, and now since those 2 fights, he's 5-0. He's gone straight. But he has 4 strikers, and obviously, Kattar is a striker, is a boxer. But listen, man, I feel like in his last fight with Barboza, he was gassing out. He has a little bit of gas tank issues, but Barboza as well has gas tank issues. So I feel like he just kind of found a way to push through because Barboza was tired as well. Kattar is a guy who doesn't go away. We know that. It's not going to go away easy. Obviously, Mark's not a power striker. Chikadze has more impactful shots. But I feel like Kattar is not going to go away easy. And I feel like if he gets in later rounds, which I think he's going to do, Kattar has a good chance of winning this fight. Even if Chikadze wins this fight, it's going to be a tough test for him. I believe that. Listen, he might knock him out first round, and I'll be wrong. But I feel like he's going to go 4-5 rounds. And I feel like once he starts to get to round 4, the Boston guy, New England guy is gonna find a way to stay in the fight, stay strong. It's gonna cause him problems later in the fight. So I'm gonna go with the upset pick. He's plus 200 right now. I'm gonna go with my guy Calvin Kattar. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like Chikadze as well is not focused on his fight. He's focusing on trying to fight the champion in April. Bro, you got to fight this week today. Get your fight on. Don't be trying to be out there like calling out the champion. Bro, you have a fight. Focus on your fight right now. So anyway, I feel like there's going to be an upset in this fight. I'm going to bet my guy Calvin Kattar for the upset by decision. And those are my picks for the week. Listen, like I said before, if you bet with my picks, send me my commission. If you don't bet with my picks, if you bet with my picks and you win, as I should say, send my commission. If you don't win, but you bet with my picks, that's on you. You take the risk. You got to share the pain. And you got to take out the pain as well. Listen, follow Combat Sports NG, Twitter, Instagram. Check out our website. You know, if you like my picks, give us a comment, give us subscribe to the YouTube page. Listen, man, we're everywhere. Let's go. See you again next week. Okay. How do you think I can do this one? Because I want you to go to the market. I want you to go to the market with